What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and today we're going to be delving deeper into a trend that's been catching a lot of watch enthusiasts' eyes, myself included, and it's Seiko's kind of obsession with marketing exclusively their limited edition watches on their social media accounts. Is this a smart move, or is it a shift away from their roots? We're going to explore all of that today on today's episode. It is 6:47 a.m. Let's get down to business. All right, so I've complained for a few years now that Seiko has been shifting away from their roots. Anything that you see that you find interesting will be limited edition and probably over $1,000. I've said that until I've been blue in the face. But people have been sending me screenshot after screenshot of Seiko's main Instagram account, and it seems like they only want to showcase their limited edition watches. So if you're just going by their Instagram page as their catalog, it seems like they're only producing limited edition watches nowadays. Now real quick guys, before we go any further, I do want to tell you about the Time Teller Shop's Black Friday sale. That's right, I do have to do a shameless plug because this is our biggest sale of the year. Friday, November 24th at midnight Pacific, the shop goes live with a whole bunch of watches for you to choose from. And do not miss out. Use this coupon code at checkout and you will save yourself some money. Every year people get upset that they missed out on the sale. Don't be silly. Go ahead, set an alarm, set a calendar date. Don't miss out. Now jumping back into Seiko's catalog, we can see really cool watches like this new Landmaster. Something I would totally wear. This is right up my alley. It looks very, very captivating with the compass bezel and then a colorful dial, 3 o'clock crown. So this is not like a traditional Seiko diver, which would have a 4 o'clock crown. Just a really cool, tough, durable looking functional watch. But then when you go over to Seiko's description, you see that it is a, I believe, 30th anniversary limited edition. And of course, we have to talk about the new Presage, the Kintaro Hattori 100th anniversary limited edition. This watch is limited to 1,000 pieces, and for Seiko, that is actually quite scarce. Looks like it has a beautiful enamel dial with blued hands, just a very old school classic style watch. And again, this is something I would absolutely wear. The website says it's going to be available in January, and when I first saw pictures of these, my instinct was to get very excited. Oh my gosh, I want to go ahead and see where I can get one. But then you see that it's a limited edition, you see that it's coming out, in a couple months, and then you're like, well, scalpers are going to have a field day before I even get the chance to pull my credit card out, so what's the point? And another watch that Seiko's been showing off that I'm very excited about is the new Land Mechanical GMT. I should say new in quotes because this is essentially a reissue of an older Seiko GMT model. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And again, something I would definitely wear because I'm a vintage watch freak and I'm a former Seiko addict. This is reference number SPB411, by the way. And then again, you look further into the description and you see that it's a limited edition. So whether it be something more extravagant like that Kintaro Hattori limited edition Presage or something subtle like that Land Mechanical GMT, it seems like Seiko is exclusively banking on scarcity to market these watches, which I think is kind of lazy actually. Because here's the thing. Seiko used to not spend as much effort marketing, and they weren't doing kind of lazy tactics to get your attention or to get people in the door to purchase their watches. They kind of made very, very spec-heavy, affordable pieces that would get people buzzing about the watches, and then Seiko could kind of rely on a volume model where people would be buying large portions of these watches, or I should say, large portions of people would be buying these watches. For instance, the Alpinist, right? The Sarbo 17. It's kind of the pinnacle, the peak of Seiko's watchmaking career. This is a watch that is not hard to find. A ton of people have purchased them. I know personally numerous people who've purchased multiple of them. They've had an Alpinist, something's happened to it, they get another one. It's just a watch that was very functional, gave a lot of bang per buck, and was interesting when it came out. The SKX 007, that's the entryway for most people's watch collecting careers. I was going to say addictions because that's probably more accurate. Even pricier watches like the Seiko Tuna, I bought mine, I think it was like $13.50. That was a whole lot of money for me at the time. But even so, for the amount of watch you got, it still felt like a steal. But guess what? Seiko did not spend as much time marketing these watches, and I think there's a few reasons for that. Number one, I mean, social media wasn't as big back then, especially not in the kind of watch collecting world. So Seiko maybe didn't have as many options to put their stuff out there. But even so, you'd think nowadays Seiko would put out some more of their kind of lower level, affordable options, things that aren't limited editions. Because way back when I started here on YouTube, back in like, what, 2017? Seiko just relied on the fact that they were producing badass spec monsters to get people in the door. Now it seems like they're not really relying on the quality or intrigue of their watches to get people to purchase. They're just relying on these lazy sales tactics, saying, oh, you know, this is a limited edition. This is limited to this many pieces. This is limited, by the way, guys. This is limited. You just please buy it. So essentially, this is a huge shift from a brand that was once celebrated for their mass appeal to now a brand that is kind of narrowing their focus to just exclusively limited edition watches. And it's funny because, again, way back in 2017, when I was the young, attractive time teller with a toupee. It wasn't actually a toupee, that was my hair. I just had really, you know, I had more hair than I had now. My beard was fake then, that kid. But when I first started back in 2017, people complained about Omega relying too heavily on limited editions. And I remember being one of the people here on YouTube making videos complaining about that. But then you look at what Omega was doing then at the height of their limited edition marketing, and you compare it to what Seiko is doing now, Omega was really not that bad. I guess it's all kind of perspective, huh? So guys, listen, I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't say that this marketing strategy is going to be Seiko's downfall, because again, I think that they're still going to be making a ton of money. They know that scalpers are going to be purchasing their watches, so Seiko doesn't really care as long as their watches move off their shelves. For us watch enthusiasts that actually want to collect these pieces, it's a headache. Whenever you see limited edition, it makes you cringe because you know, first of all, resellers are going to have a field day, and you know that the brands themselves are going to be asking a premium up front. So I don't think Seiko is going to like go out of business because of this new shift. However, I do think that currently and in the future, I think Seiko's name or title, or I should say reputation for being the people's champion, a watchmaker that gives you over-spec'd watches for an affordable price, a collector's watch brand, a watch brand for watch enthusiasts. Yeah, I think that is dwindling, and I think in the future that it just will not exist. So in some ways, I think Seiko is definitely hurting themselves big time. But in other ways, you know, they're making tons and tons of money, so I don't think they care about my opinion at all. Why would they? And just finally, I do want to mention something else that's been bothering me. I don't know why Seiko has been shifting to offset date windows. And it's like, okay, offset date windows, get over it. But why are they circular? It's like, it's offset and then circular date. I think that is the most horrendous thing ever. I don't think I could ever wear a watch that has that. It's a terrible design choice. I don't know who over at Seiko first did it, and then I don't know who approved it, and then I don't know who decided to keep doing it, but they should be fired and potentially executed. I'm just kidding, but seriously. But guys, let me know what you think about this. I complain about Seiko a lot because they used to be essentially my favorite watchmaker, and I don't like where they have been going. I think that admittedly, they are producing some interesting watches like that Kintaro Hattori Presage, like that new Landmaster, like that new Land Mechanical GMT, but all three of those watches that I just mentioned are limited edition, and I guarantee you they're going to be over $1,000 bucks. So it is what it is, guys. Seiko is like, they're not a watch brand for watch enthusiasts anymore. But leave me that comment. I want to hear from you, and don't forget about the Time Teller Shop's Black Friday sale. Again, that is Friday, November 24th at midnight Pacific. Use this code, save yourself some cash. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the time teller. Always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.